everyone, I'm going to show you today some different ways that you can get some macro images with just a regular Nifty 50. So I've got my Nifty 50 here. The great thing about this lens is it's cheap. It's just about around $100 for Nikon and Canon both make that version. So this is the f1.8. I decided to do this lens because a lot of photographers have this, especially new photographers, and if you are a new photographer looking beyond your kit lens, this is one of the great ones that you can grab. So that's why I decided to do that one. So these are some different ways that we can shoot macro with that. So first of all, we have what is called a reverse macro ring. So this, you have to get the size of your thread of the diameter of your lens. So this is a 52 millimeter diameter, so you got to make sure you buy the right one. The first time I bought one, I didn't even look at the size, and it was the wrong size, of course. So what you do is you match up your little red dot to your camera. Pull my camera over here, and you just click it in place. And you're going to take your lens, and it's going to go backwards, because when you take this lens the opposite way, let's see if I can get it so you can kind of see it magnifies it much more so than if you do it this way. So it has little threads on it, and it's going to just screw in right here. So it will screw on like that. It takes a little bit of, you gotta make sure you get it right on. So you'll notice these are the little electronic touch points that are inside your camera too. And since they are not on the inside of your camera, your lens cannot communicate with your camera. So when you use this method, make sure you set your aperture before you do this, and you do need to know how to shoot in manual, with a manual focus. If you don't know how to shoot in manual focus, you can always turn on your live view. Either way works. Just know that you will not have autofocus capabilities when you use this method, but it's a great, easy way to do it. The ring, I think they're around $10, $15, so if I remember right. So that's the reverse ring. The next one we have is a convex lens. Now, if you look at it carefully, it goes out on both sides, which is why it's called convex. And if you notice here, the glass is way down inside my lens. So I can just set this on here. If you are doing it with a lens that has the glass right next to it, you probably should have a filter on it, just because you don't want to scratch your lens in case there's something on here. Or just hold it slightly away like that, so it's not touching the lens. Now the great thing about this is it's actually not specifically for macro. You can see you can get some cool reflections in there. I didn't even buy it as a macro tool. I bought it just to play around for another challenge that we did in April, and I kind of discovered that it did macro. So it's a great little thing, and they're also pretty cheap. I can't remember how much it was. It was probably less than $10 if I remember right. So here we have filters, and filters, what they do is they just go right on your lens. So there's a +1, this one is a +1, there's a +2, +3, no, excuse me, +1, +2, +4, and then a 10x. Now if you take it this way like it's supposed to go, you can see it just barely adds anything to it. So it just screws on your lens like that. This is also one that is specific just for your lens, so make sure when you're looking at macro filters, look at your diameter size. It will be here on your lens somewhere. Oh, there it is. So this is a 52 millimeter in diameter. So this is 52 millimeters, these are 52 millimeters. You can also stack these, so that would be a +3, and there's the +4, +2, so that is a +6. Now the +4 is my favorite out of all of these because it has the least distortion and has the most sharp magnification. This is the 10x. Now the 10x does get some really good magnification in there. You can kind of see that. But it has distortion around the edges, and about the only place that it's actually really sharp is right there in the middle. So just be aware of that you do have that. And I only use this when I have like one small little thing that I want to get in focus, and I make sure it's right in the middle so that it's not distorted. So those are the filters. Now this right here is an extension tube. It is hollow. There's no glass in here. So make sure that you get the kind that goes to your camera. But other than that, you can use this with any lens. That's the great thing about this, is that I can use this with my 50. I can use it with my macro lens even and get it closer. So what it does is it connects to my camera right here. So I just stick it on my camera, just like I normally would put a lens. And then my lens will go on. Let's see if I can find where it goes. My lens will go on and just snap in right there. It's hard to do with one hand. There we go. So what it does is it's made my lens a little bit longer, and it basically puts me this much closer to my subject because my focusing plane is right here. And so I can add this much in and get a little bit closer to my subject. And it does pretty good magnification as well. And I should mention these also break down into smaller pieces. So if I don't want to be quite that close, I can. I never really take them apart. I just say it's either all or nothing for me. So anyway, so this is the extension tube. Now, do be aware that there are a couple kinds of extension tubes. This one right here does not have the, I'm not even sure what it is, but the electric connectors right here. So this is how your camera talks to your lens. And, oh shoot, now I can't get this off with one hand. There we go. Okay, so see, it's got that right there. So that is how your camera talks to your lens. And if you don't have that connected, then your lens is basically going to be everything manual. So there are some extension tubes that do have that available. They cost a lot more money, and I didn't think it was worth it since I do manual focus when I shoot macro anyway. So it didn't really matter for me. I just went the cheap route, and I can't remember how much these were, but they weren't more than $20. So it's a really good cheap option. And I forgot to mention the filters, they all came in a pack. So that was one pack that had all those 4 filters. You can buy them separately, but I think this was like $15. So it's not terrible. So anyway, these are some all really good cheap options instead of buying a dedicated macro lens, which can cost you a good $1,000 or more, depending on the lens that you get. So a few cheap options if you're wanting to try macro out. Try one of these out before you dedicate yourself to a true macro lens. And anyway, I will have some pictures on my blog that have all these different things with the 50, so you can kind of see how they look. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, give me some questions, give me a shout out, and I will try and answer them for you. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.